Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Umstead, host of the RNG radio show. Now, for those that are typically usually watching me Facebook Live, I just actually, you know what? Let me start over. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Umstead, host of the RNG radio show. As you can tell, I want to thank you so much for joining me today and to discuss some few things as far as it's going to better your life and what actions that you can take. I love the gurus. I love the motivational speakers. I love the people that I'll tell you, read my book, but I never hear much in regards to taking action. I was actually looking up this one gentleman who was a hedge fund investor. I forgot the name, but the guy's worth like $50 million. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I was like, but is he really worth $50 million? So when I was looking him up, I honestly forgot the name, Rupture, but outside of that, the main focus was that when I went to look him up and I was researching him, and they were talking about his hedge fund investing and the program that he does, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, this is really cool. Oh, so he actually does talk about it. Well, what they did was they hired a copywriter, or he did, or his company did, hired a copywriter to actually just put out content to get people to join, to get people to subscribe. And I'm like, well, what content is he giving out? And literally somebody went from the beginning to the end saying that, hey, when I started with $50, I was just getting the newsletter, but there was really no action behind it. And it was just more that. And I'm like, well, that's not doing anything. So what this show does differently is that I talk about credit repair, real estate, resume writing, but we had a little bit more flavor to it by telling you what can be done. So first and foremost, in regards to credit repair, what is credit repair? Well, I work with a financial services company, and what we do is that we help remove like debt, repossessions, credit checks, all this other stuff to get you to a point where it's like, hey, this stuff can be removed from your credit, and then so forth and go forth from there. So with that being said and all, if you need assistance with credit report or just need some tips or advice, give me a call, 267-702-3756. With that being said, I wanted to move into benefits actually of having good credit. So this article that I had came across was from stilt.com, and its benefits of good credit, 9 ways of good credit will improve your life. So with the 9 ways to improve your life, the first one, get better rates on your car insurance. I didn't know about it. I just found out about it actually a few weeks ago. I was like, what? My credit has something to do with my car insurance? But it's true. One of the most important areas where the quality of your credit affects you is applying for car insurance. So typically, if you are looking for, decent car rates and car insurance, your credit does affect that. So this is another reason why you need good credit. Increase your approval chances for rental or mortgage applications. So definitely in the real estate field, if you do need a realtor, Pennsylvania, of course, I'm in the Philadelphia market, 267-702-3756. But the credit score actually determines as far as how much of your credit and how much of your background and history, payment history, I should say, reflects to, your mortgage, or even your rental application. So be sure that when you are actually applying for a house or looking for a rental, that they are going to be looking at your credit. Now, there are some private landlords and ways to get around it, but you're hurting yourself in the long run by paying for it rather than just simply working on your credit to get it up. And one quick thing, like I said, folks, before I move forward, because I do want you to take action on these things, pull your credit report. Annualcreditreport.com. They have it through April 2021, where you can actually see the line items on it. Now, if you need help with disputing, give me a call. Number 3, get better interest rates on your mortgage. So it's not even so much getting approved for your mortgage, but in addition, you also need to make sure that, you're not only getting better interest rates on your mortgage, but you also need to make sure that you are also doing what you need to do to get that percentage way down. Because the lower that your interest rate over time, the less that you'll have to pay. Number 4, improve your chances of getting hired. I thought it was a joke until my main job that I'm working at right now in which we do work with clients and vendors that do run a credit check on them. I'm like, what? What's that got to do with it? But the reality is that eventually companies want to know that they're bringing on the best people, and not so much the best people in regards to saying like, your qualifications and skills, but you are a responsible individual. Somebody who has a credit score of like 500 compared to somebody who's a credit score of 700. Obviously, that person at 700 is being more responsible. They might not be making as much as a person with a 500 credit score. And I've come across many people, millionaires, who talk about it like, man, my credit is shot, but I'm able to go out here, there, and everywhere, but I am working on my credit. And it's like, you got millions or thousands, I should say, in the bank account, and you're still having an issue with credit. Something's not right. Something's not right. So that's the same way an employer is pretty much looking at the same thing. It's like, well, we're not so much cared about the money, but if you're not being responsible with it, that means you're not going to be responsible with this job. Number 5, pay less for security deposits. That comes with the, applying for, not so much applying for a loan, but applying for a rental and everything like that. They see that you got a great credit score. They might be like, hey, listen, you know what? We got you in the door right now. We see that you already have your deposit. We actually might be taking off a little bit more because we didn't realize your credit score was that high up. So something to look about as well. Number 6, improve your chances for credit card and loan approval. Wow. So I'm going to be talking about a little bit later in regards to getting my realtor friends folks set up through Anchor, but the chances of the credit card and loan approval, one, it's increased. In addition, it's more money in your account that you can utilize as a tool. A lot of people think that, oh, I got approved for $1,000 credit card. Man, I've been wanting to get this, and this, and this. And it's like, whoa, slow it down. You get approved for $1,000 credit card, you're still only supposed to be using 30% of that credit card. So technically, you got approved for a $300 credit card. So with that, utilize that tool to bring in what you need to. Now, if you're somebody like me, getting approved for a $1,000 credit card, hey, start buying shirts, start getting your branding out there, or help your business in some way, fashion, or form, so that way it comes back to you. And that 300 seems like nothing. And in the long run, you're helping promoting yourself as well. Number 7, get approved for credit card higher limit. So even if you do have a decent credit card right now, whether it be Capital One, whether it be Chase, Bank of America, what have you, having that increased credit score will actually bring you so much closer to, like I said, that higher limit. They might just say like, wow, you've been doing great, or you've been making on-time payments. We're actually going to increase it for you and go forward from there. Number 8, the last one, and of course, getting better interest rates. And the better interest rates just applies to all that you're looking at. The better interest rates we're talking about with mortgage, better interest rates that we talked about with credit cards, better interest rates when you're actually applying, whether it be for another product or merely even with your business credit, getting a better service. So in the long run, a better bang for your buck. So there's many benefits, folks, that I want you to understand that you have with obtaining better credit. But if you need to get started now, give me a call, 267-702-3756, or simply just rewind and take advantage of the tips that we talked about. So that is in regards to benefits of having good credit. Now, what I wanted to talk about was Anchor FM. Anchor FM has been keeping me up for the past couple of nights, and I've been feeling like a zombie only because I'm trying to work on getting my YouTube content moved over to Anchor. So that way, if it's people just don't want to see my face, they can actually listen to me as well. I'm an advocate for them because, one, it's free. That's the first thing. It is free. The second thing is that it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I've come across many podcast platforms, Spreaker, I've come across Buzzsprout, I've come across Stitcher, which I'm still trying to work out Stitcher. But Anchor FM really honestly just walks you through the process. You literally upload an episode in an MP3 format, or you can actually just record yourself right then and there in an MP3 format. And then literally once it's been recorded and been done, all you have to do next is merely save the episode, get a little description, give a title to it, If you want to keep track of it as far as like saying, oh, this is season 1, episode 4, season 5, episode 2, you can do all that. But what I'm realizing is that, it's not necessary, but you're just literally uploading content. It's actually for those that have uploaded to YouTube before, and that was the best example in individual gaming, the Enthusiasm podcast. I forgot what the gentleman's name was, but the guy from the Enthusiasm podcast had literally just said, you know, hey, if you're used to uploading to YouTube, this is definitely going to be the best thing for you. So I was like, what? Get out of here. What you talking about? So, folks, take advantage of that in regards to it. And I say this for my realtors as far as building up your brand. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to, for 3 to 4 minutes, pull out your phone and record yourself either talking about real estate, discussing real estate, bringing up a brand new term about real estate, and just merely getting that uploaded. The cover art, work art is already done for you. Everything is already done for you. And then your branding just goes forward from there. If you're not on social media, you need to get on social media and talk about it. So, what else I was going to mention? So yeah, with the Anchor FM, it's just that great platform as far as just helping you get your name out. And then there's like 6 podcast platforms that are already included. One of which I'm loving dearly, is Spotify. So automatically getting on Anchor, hey, the moment that it's uploaded, within maybe 5 to 10 minutes, it gets moved over to Spotify, and then it works on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. So you get that reach, and your name is getting out there so much more than you realize. So take advantage of it. You know, and I'm even looking at it for myself as far as even more things that I could do with it outside of just the RNG radio show. So that's with that. Now, a lot of folks might come back to me or, you know, and say like, well, Dan, you know, it's kind of tough because I got to do all this uploading. Everything can be done from your phone, folks. Everything can literally be done from your phone. It's not a matter of, you know, you setting the time. It's literally just recording yourself for 5 minutes, stopping the recording, saving it, upload it as an MP3 format file, and then giving it a title and going forward with it. You know, as you build upon, you know, and as you do get that greater audience and everything like that, by all means, you know, you could have the team to do all the graphic design and all that, but you need to start somewhere, and you need to advocate for somewhere as well. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about for real estate, and I'm holding myself accountable for, was that today being Thursday, yes, today being Thursday, July 9th, Tuesday, I actually started back up as far as doing my live broadcasts and dropping voicemails. I was supposed to do 20 yesterday, didn't get a chance to. Like I said, Anchor's been taking up a lot of my time. But I hold myself accountable because I want to remind folks that this is not an overnight process, or this is not a process in which you say like, hey, I'm going to get this, this, and this done today, and you don't end up getting this, and this done today, or a brand new idea comes into play where it takes over for you that this, and this. So slow down. One advice that I got actually from one of my guests who were on the show: take baby steps. So it's okay that if you're not getting your 20 in today, you know, even for me, I would have done better if I just took the time to find that one voicemail, or I should say that one property to look up, and then just dropping a voicemail and then moving forward. So that way I'm not saying to myself, oh my gosh, I didn't get any done today. Instead saying like, you know what, I was able to get one today, working on the rest of the day. So take those baby steps, you know, and with a baby, one thing I wanted to add on with that, a baby stumbles and falls, right? A baby needs to hold on to something in order to continue to walk, or continue to look around, or continue to travel, you know. I remember when my son, you know, continuously fell when he was starting to learn to walk. But now this kid is running, you know, he's always asking me, you know, especially when we're going to the car, hey, Dad, can I run to the car? And it's like, yeah, sure. Of course, I'm like looking around like, all right, nobody's coming. Okay, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. All right. So, but you know, it's the joys and benefits of being a parent and being a father. So, realtors, please take advantage of that. Get on that ASAP, because there's really no reason why you shouldn't be. All right. Next thing, how to find a remote job. Now, I say this in regards to a lot of jobs that, I'm typically recruiting for now is remote. We're starting off remote because of COVID-19 and the whole pandemic, and it's usually just easier. So one thing I do want people to be aware about, though, when you're applying for a work from home job, make sure that it is with a legit company. Not so much the staffing agency itself, but make sure that when you are applying for a job, it's not just saying like, you have unlimited potential. You can earn between $500 and $900 on a weekly basis. No, that job should be specific in regards to like an hourly rate or an annual salary rate. It shouldn't just be a mere like, oh, you're going to be making X amount of dollars on a weekly basis, but you need to sign up today or work as little as 10 hours per week. Those aren't remote reliable jobs. Those are pretty much independent contractor jobs. Now, some independent contractor jobs are really, really great, such as being a realtor. That's an independent contractor job. You are an independent worker, you filled out a 1099, and hey, you are making a name for yourself and you are building your brand as you go along. Some of these other independent contractor jobs just want you to pretty much do the work on your own. I remember when I was working at a sales job for adjusting the insurance, the property adjusters, as far as calling up and saying like, hey, contacting friends and family and, related homeowners and saying, hey, do you own your home? That's great. I remember my mom was like, Dan, you kidding, right? Well, I wanted to see if you would be interested in adjusting your home to get a bill of value. Dan, this is your aunt you talk to. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm going to hang up on you. Well, I wanted to see, I definitely was that guy. I think this was like my early 20s. So those are independent contractor jobs out there like that. So be sure to understand the kind of job that you're getting into that's a work from home. Now, how to find these decent work from home jobs, honestly, go through staffing agencies. I'm not trying to boost up the credibility of the staffing agency I work for, but honestly, we're in competition daily with like 3 to 4 staffing agencies for every single job that we're usually recruiting for. So with that, I'm usually telling people like, hey, listen, now's the time to actually like look into that and see if, it's something that you can look into doing, as far as putting your name out there and finding a better work from home opportunity. Now, with the work from home opportunity, I want you to check with your own state. Now, Pennsylvania, I'm already going to do it for you, but the labor law that goes with it is that, as far as them paying for your equipment. So, I got this from the Office of Unemployment Compensation, so uc.pa.gov. Is my employer required to cover any additional costs that I incur if they require me to work from home, such as internet, computer, additional phone line, increased use of electricity, etc.? No. Employers are only required to pay employees for hours worked. Any other benefits could be offered, but are not mandatory. I am blessed that I do have my own laptop that was given to me from my job as far as me working from home, but it's only because of the security info that I do come across, and other people's information, and for the fact that me making phone calls comes through the computer itself. So with that, definitely by all means, those are definitely huge benefits instead of me having to use my own phone. But these are questions that you should be asking during the interview, especially if it is a remote work from home position. It's like, hey, what is being offered to me? And even when you're applying for a job that says remote, hey, this is a remote job. What's being offered to me in regards to it? Now, if they're just saying like, well, you can make thousands of dollars on a weekly basis. Who doesn't want that? Then no, it's like, oh, you're one of them. Okay. And it's not so much saying that you can't make thousands of dollars with them, but it's like, what are you sacrificing outside of time in order to make X amount of money throughout the week? So think about that, folks, in regards to that. The other thing too is look at even, your own business as far as what you can do. I know it's like, well, Dan, I thought you were giving out career tips and resume writing tips. I would be hurting you all and offending you all if I wasn't giving you strategies as far as your own business and building it up off the ground. Hey, I got about like 20 more minutes before I need to go to my main job, but the ultimate goal is being my own boss, being my own employee, and working for myself. So with that being said, the steps in regards to looking to get a laptop and your own personal cell phone should be started right away. Now, if you're watching this or haven't listened to this on your smartphone, 9 times out of 10, my understanding is that you already are halfway there with your own phone. Now, certain things may require that laptop. Certain things may require you needing to type up something, or again, on Microsoft Word, Google Docs, what have you. So it's like, well, damn, I'm actually going to need a laptop. Well, there's avenues to doing that. You could go on Dell. With Dell, you can pretty much purchase a laptop there. But if your credit is not that good, this is why we talked about it. And again, if you need assistance, 267-702-3756. Be more than happy to assist. But you can pretty much sign up for where it's like, hey, I want this computer with this, this, and this, and then they tell you like, hey, you're paying like $20-25 a month until the softwares or the computer's paid off. Meanwhile, 3 months down the line, your business is growing, or you got enough money to actually cover that expense. So another reason that they probably actually should include it in those benefits of having good credit. Now, if you don't have good credit, I completely understand. There's still places like eBay that you can check out. Now, if you don't have the money for eBay as far as buying a computer, go on Facebook Marketplace. Get to the point where, if need be, you are calling and asking somebody, hey, do you mind if I borrow your laptop? I had lent out my current laptop to a great friend of mine because he was looking for a job, and held it on for about a month. Talking about a different story here, but the main thing is that he had access to a laptop, and he had access to actually utilizing the laptop because he already had the Wi-Fi, he already had his own internet. But a month's time with the laptop that was free of use, hey, now's the time to take advantage of it. So I don't have an extra laptop right now that I could just give out to folks. So please don't be calling me, hey, Dan, you still using that laptop, the one that you was doing your radio show on? You still need that? All right, cool. If you don't, I just need it from Saturday morning till about Sunday afternoon. I'll give it back, but you might have to pick it up from me. But I might be at my mom's house. That will not work out that way. I'll just let you know right now. But definitely come up with a plan, or pay somebody. Tell them like, hey, listen, you might not have the greatest credit, but you can definitely tell somebody, hey, you mind if I give you $15 a month to utilize your laptop until I can find one of my own? Yeah, sure. Wait, the laptop that I'm not using, the laptop that isn't working okay condition, and you just need to borrow it for the time being, and I'm making money off of it, yeah, that's no problem at all. So nobody's going to say no to money, but definitely, if you can get away for free, like I did with Anchor, try to work on it for free. All right. Let's see here. What else that I wanted to talk to you guys about today? So what did we go over today? As a quick recap. I felt like there wasn't enough, but then again, I know I was hitting you with a lot of stuff. So we talked about the benefits of, having good credit. We talked about with my realtor friends, get on Anchor FM today. Or if you just have your own business but got great advice, get on Anchor FM like today. And we also talked about as far as the work from home job. So that was the other thing too, because I was having so many issues this morning with the podcast and transferring over, but I got some new ideas, and this is the development as far as how a radio show is run, folks. You got this one idea, it's running for a little bit, and then something comes in, such as internet usage and technology, and it's like, ooh, you're not going to be able to do it that way. You got to try it a different way. So, but there will be a new format coming out soon, very, very soon, like tomorrow soon. But the thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the motivation piece that I was listening to Eric Thomas about, Between the Lion and the Gazelle. So real quick, before we actually get into that, I wanted to discuss this gentleman, Lewis Howard Latimer. Now, Lewis Howard Latimer was an African-American inventor, patent draftsman for the patents of the light bulb and telephone. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, I thought Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. He did, but the patent came from a black man. I know. And telephone. I thought Alexander Graham Bell did telephone. That's why it's called Bell Atlantic. He did. but the patents came from black men. So Lewis Howard Latimer, King Lewis Howard Latimer, I wanted to actually just go straight into what his accomplishments were over time. Now, sad to say, because when I was looking him up, I'm like, oh man, well, how did he die? What happened? Like, you know, it's like crazy to hear this great success of an individual, and then it's like, well, what happened? So unfortunately, in his late years, he actually had passed away from a stroke. But not to diminish his legacy, let's go over what this man has accomplished. And I actually wanted to discuss briefly what had happened when he was born. So his father, George Latimer, had been the slave of James B. Gray of Virginia. George Latimer, his father ran away to freedom to Boston, Massachusetts in October 1842, along with his mother, Rebecca, who had been the slave of another man. When Gray, the owner, appeared in Boston to take them back to Virginia, it became a noted case in the movement of abolition of slavery, gaining the involvement of such abolitionists as William Lloyd Garrison. Eventually, funds were raised to pay Gray $400 for the freedom of George Latimer. Can you believe that, folks? So you have Lewis Howard Latimer's dad, who's running away. You know, it's like, shoot, I don't try to be no slave no more. Running away, gets all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts, coming from Virginia. Folks, they didn't have cars back then. There was no, the train was around. But honestly, as far as getting up there, there's certain things that you do, not saying like crazy stuff, but, you know, as far as sleeping in places that he didn't want to, especially with the woman who knows what was going on during that time in regards to just getting up there and what they had to do as far as scrapping for food and everything like that. So finally making it all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts, like, whoo, I made it. I'm here. I'm free. This guy all the way from Virginia, buckling on his horse. Hey, that's my slave. What y'all doing? That's my slave. I need him back. And then it's like, wait a second. Hold on. No. We need to get this done and over with in regards to abolishing slavery. It just don't make no sense. So at that point in time, and mind you, this stuff, for those that need to watch Hamilton, not saying if you've seen Hamilton, but those that need to watch Hamilton, you know, they've actually been fighting for slavery since the country began. Now, as far as everybody being on the same page with it, not always the case. You've been in business meetings before. Not everybody's always on the same page. So, but eventually finds funds to pay $400 for the freedom of George Latimer. Now, Lewis Latimer joined the U.S. Navy at the age of 15 and served as landsman on the USS Messewick. After receiving an honorable discharge from the U.S. Navy, he gained employment as an office boy with a patent law firm. How about that? Now, what I wanted to actually discuss with you that was actually really, really awesome to see was that he started off making $3 per week salary. Now, $3 per week brings in about $150. I would not be able to survive, let alone in that time. I can't imagine. You know, it was probably decent money, but not to the point where, you know, you could make a decent living off of. So, but tell you what did happen though. Between 1865 to 1872, Mr. Latimer had to prove himself. Now, mind you, I want you to get the years in here. It was until he turned the age of 21 that he started earning as a head draftsman $20 a week. So, folks, you got to understand the advancement. It took a while, but here's why, and here's what he was able to do. And this is why I'm honoring King Lewis Howard Latimer for this. So I would love to have had him interview on the show. In 1874, he co-patented with Charles and Brown an improved toilet system for railroad cars called the water closet for railroad cars. So the reason why you do have a bathroom inside that train station, I'm started with Mr. Latimer. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell employed Latimer, then a draftsman at Bell's patent law firm, to draft the necessary drawings required to receive patent for Bell's telephone. So Alexander Graham Bell had it, he had the invention, but as far as getting the drawings out, as far as getting the specifications out, Mr. Latimer. In 1879, he moved to Bridgeport, Connecticut with his brother William, his mother Rebecca, and his wife Mary, other family members, and Lewis was hired as an assistant manager and draftsman for the U.S. Electric Lighting Company, company owned by Hiram Maxim, a rival of Thomas A. Edison. Now, in 1881, Latimer, along with Joseph Nichols, invented a light bulb with a carbon filament, an improvement on Thomas Edison's original paper filament, which would burn out quickly, and sold the patent to the United States Electric Company in 1881. He received a second patent on January 17, 1882, for the process of manufacturing carbons and improved method for the production of light bulb carbon filament. So the light bulbs that we have today, folks, please don't get it confused. This is not your typical Thomas Edison light bulb. You know, this is coming from Latimer himself in regards to it, all right? The Edison Electric Company in New York hired Latimer. So it's like, hey, listen, we saw what you did over there. Need you actually back over here. As a draftsman and expert witness in patent litigation on electrical lights. While at Edison, Latimer wrote the first book on electrical lighting, Incandescent Electric Lighting, 1890, and supervised the installation of public electric lights throughout New York, Philadelphia, Montreal, and London. When the company was combined in 1892 with the Thomas Houston Electric Company to form General Electric, he continued to work in the legal department. In 1911, he became a patent consultant to law firms. So that, my friends, so call it what you will, do your research, but the inventor of the light bulb, the inventor of why we have electricity, the inventor of why we have lights going through Philadelphia, New York, Montreal, London, was due to King Louis Howard Latimer. So folks, that's actually will be the title, who really invented the light bulb. So be sure to check out this episode. Be sure to check out more episodes. Like I said, I got a brand new format for y'all. But before I go, I did want to give y'all some motivation. So the Lion and Gazelle story, as told by Eric Thomas. Lion and Gazelle story is simply this. In Africa, you know, in the safari, you have the lion who wakes up every morning, getting up out of, you know, his cave, cavern, talking to Sweetie, hey, boo. And she's like, let's go out and get a gazelle. Ain't got time for that. You know, we got to feed these cubs. All right, cool. Just stretching. So, you know, he's doing all the stretching, talking to his homeboys. Yo, Rufus, about to go get a gazelle. You coming with me? Nah, I'm going to just sit back. I'm all right. Cool. No problem. So, Lion goes out, does stretching, you know, does the whole shoulder movement and everything like that. And he's out searching for some gazelles. Now, the gazelles, on the other hand, are like, oh, listen, today gonna be that day, you know? Yeah, you heard what happened to Jerry. Yo, Jerry got hit yesterday? Oh my gosh. I can't believe, I thought Jerry was best. Nah, Jerry got bit, yo. He got the leg, and then it was a wrap, and then the other lions came through and just took him. Shoo! So when they usually come around? Probably about like 8 o'clock, 8:30. You should be seeing them. Matter of fact, I actually see one right now. Listen, I gotta go. If y'all seen Belly, remember AZ in the show where he was like carrying a baby? He's like, listen, man, I gotta go. That's definitely one of them gazelles that's looking straight ahead. You know, Nas played his part, but AZ was definitely one of the gazelles that saw what he needed to do to get up out of there. So, folks, you are either in this game of life going to be the lion that needs to get up and hunt for their meat, hunt for their resources, hunt for the services, or you are just going to be that gazelle that's in that pack that is like, hey, I don't want to be taken over, or I don't want to be wrong. Now, there's some gazelles that's like, hey, I'm not affected by lions at all. I'm in my quiet little place. I have a nice little water here. I have, you know, a nice area here. We haven't had gazelles or lion sightings in over 5 years. So I'm fine where I'm at. I'm in this nice little comfort zone, drinking my water, enjoying time with my family. So this is fine right here. I don't need to go out and be chased or hunted. So the basis of that story is that, folks, what are you doing in life? What are you focusing on in life? And how are you achieving that? Are you getting up every single morning like a lion who's hungry, who needs to go out there and attacks what is theirs? Or are you the gazelle that it's like, all right, cool. Well, you know, I know that I got to move. I know that I got to get up out of here. I know I got to make sure that I don't get caught. And Eric Thomas says it point blank. it's not so much about, fighting to beat the other gazelles in this competition or race of life that we live in, but it's just making sure that you're not last. Because as long as you're not last, as long as you're not the one behind, you're not going to be ending up like Jerry, all right, who's pretty much stuck at the end of the pack, and then he's being eaten up and chewed up by wolves. Now, I'm not saying that's the real thing in regards to this world, where you're going out there and getting eaten up, but you are getting eaten up in some certain aspect by not following your dreams, by not coming out of your comfort zone, and by not going on that chase and that thrill of making sure that you are not in last place. So above all, folks, whatever you're doing in life, whether it be a job, whether it be a career, whether it be a business, just make sure above all that you're not last. There's going to be people ahead of you. There's going to be people behind you. But what you don't want is to be the last individual that has everybody ahead of them, and you're just sitting there and it's like, how come y'all moving? How come y'all not staying? We could right here. Meanwhile, there's this big old huge lion right behind them about to pounce on them. So folks, take advantage of the resources that you have. If you need assistance, give me a call, 267-702-3756. But thank you again so much for joining me on the RNG radio show with Umstead. 267-702-3756. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. Stay blessed, my fellow millionaires. Have a good one.
Fleslet on the beat.